guys, welcome back to our channel.
What's up? In today's video, we are going to talk about why living in Germany is better than living in the US.
Let's get into it. So number one, let's start with safety. Why living in Germany is more safe than living in the US. My point, the first right away off the bat, is there's no guns. We don't carry guns out here. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing that I have a problem with. Whoever is for that in America, I'm sorry to offend you, but I'm completely against guns. And so you don't have to worry about that here.
You literally will not see anything on the news about any mass shootings like how it is in America. You turn on the TV in America and there's literally a mass shooting every day on the TV, most likely, or some crazy thing going on in New York or any state.
Not even that, it's just like small little inconveniences, or like you get onto the wrong person, or road rage. There's like, in America, I can tell you so many things that happen. Just because somebody looked at you differently, or looked at you the wrong way, or had a bad day, and they shoot you, or and they freaking pull their gun out, or road rage. Like when you, there's like just so many. I don't even want to get too much into it, but it's just like I'm just always so conscious about like when we were driving in America or whatever. I was like always telling him when we had a red light or this, because he's a New Yorker, so he has road rage, and when somebody looks at him weird, or when somebody cuts him off or something, he wants to get back at that person. Like not like with a gun, but like saying something or putting up the middle finger. And I always told him it's not worth it. Don't do it, because you don't know what type of person sits in the car, and you don't know how they're gonna react. And I do not want to get freaking shot from some miserable person that has nothing better to do than taking somebody else's life. So that's a big thing for me. And also just like as a woman, I feel so much safer just like walking outside by myself at night. I don't need to be worried here. Yeah. In the US, completely different story. Next
thing we want to talk about is the cost of living here in Germany, and it is way better than living in the US.
Yeah, I would say let's start with like rent. The rent compared to US is just so much more affordable. Like for example, I lived in like a 2-bedroom in New York in Park Slope area, Brooklyn, and that was over $2,000. I think it was $2,500 or $600, if I remember right. But it was over $2,000. And it was not like a new renovated home where all the appliances, everything is new. Not even a washing machine in the house, which in America is not a common thing. You don't have a washing machine in every apartment. You have to go to the laundry mat, and so that was not included in all of that. It was an older 2-bedroom apartment, and that was costing $2,000 alone rent. On top of the rent, you gotta add like groceries you have to get for the whole month, which insane. The amount for groceries that I spend like money on is just insane. Feta cheese, for example.
I love feta cheese.
Like I love feta cheese, and $10. Milk, $6, $7. I don't know right now how much is, probably more, but cheese, anything, bread, just groceries, like $200 a week. So you can like do the math how much that's gonna be. And on top of that, like doing your laundry and like other little things, and maybe a little bit shopping here and there if you got money left. So yeah. Compared to Germany, where the rent is
$600, $700 for a 2-bedroom.
Of course, it depends what city. If you go into a poppin' city like Berlin or whatever, you might pay more if it's like a super updated apartment. But in general, like the rent is like around like for 2-bedroom for you. So it's like a 3-room apartment in Germany, with living room and then 2 extra rooms. Like $600, $700.
You do got to remember, you do have to pay for your kitchen though. And then going to the grocery store, I believe we mentioned this before, but like it's not that expensive. You can go find a good amount of like groceries for around like $60 a week, which is like really good. And that also depends on what grocery store you go to, so you're not breaking bank to go get some crazy meal stuff in the store like cheese and stuff. It's really affordable. So
yeah, we have very affordable grocery stores.
Yeah, so a big plus.
The next point we will talk about is the difference of food quality in Germany versus the US. So the the European regulations on like certain ingredients in food that we have, like they're so strict, and in the US it's completely different. Like I can just speak on myself how the difference was for me when I lived in the US versus Europe. I had constant problems with my stomach all the time. I could eat anything like bread, just regular meals, breakfast, whatever, and I would get so bloated after. Like, and I was always thinking to myself, like, what is wrong with my body? At one point I thought, okay, maybe I'm just tripping and that's normal, like whatever. But I remember I was like, I've never had those issues in Germany. I've never had such problems with my stomach and being bloated and all these problems when I was living in Germany. And that all started when I was living in the US, and it got to a point where I got so bad, I was always bloated. Like whatever we were eating, I always I always complained about how my stomach was hurting. Like I got annoyed with myself because I literally constantly had stomach problems.
Right after a meal too.
I got a European stomach, and I cannot take the food in the US. Like I don't know, like that was bad. So whatever is in your food, it's bad. I mean, we already know that through TikTok and everything. It's very well known that the US food is complete trash. I'm sorry, but it is a fact. And I lived there long enough to experience it for myself and see the difference whenever I came back here to Europe, and I have no issues with the food here whatsoever.
And it's crazy because when we left and we went to Portugal, I did not know the difference until I started eating the food in Europe, how trash the food was in America. Mm-hmm. And
he always said like the meat tastes different.
Everything.
So many things he said that tastes completely different. Like he really had to get used to certain.
It was so much like I don't know, like fresher. Like everything was fresh and like or bio organic. And the crazy thing is too, the bio stuff is cheaper than the regular stuff here too. That also goes into like the food in the grocery stores as well. So like everything is way better here quality wise.
The next thing is that Germany is in Central Europe, which means that you can get to the neighboring countries super easy and fast, like France, the Netherlands,
Italy. Basically we are very Central Europe, and everything is just really simple to get around, taking the train, flying, taking a bus. So it's like amazing if you're a traveler like us and like to see new places and you want to take a trip here and there. It's not hard to get around.
That's why people always say like, traveling in Europe is like so easy, and getting to another country, because in the US, for example, getting to another state already takes like sometimes 11 hours or something.
Depending on where you want to go, yeah.
Wherever you want to go, which here, then you get into a whole new country.
The last thing we're going to talk about is the nature here in Europe versus the US.
Yeah, because Germany is super green. There's like, green like parks everywhere. It's just a lot of like the fields around, like when you're in the city, and then around when you get out of the city, there's just so much green area, and just in general, you just feel like there's a ton more trees and everything. And just compared to, New York, of course, like there's barely any green and no nature at all. That I was really missing that. And so I think that's a very positive thing about Germany. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this week's video, and
don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us push our videos out to more and more people and helping them join our little community here on YouTube.
And we will see you back next week.
Bye.